Yeah, I'm also too good. Thank you for asking me. All right. Okay, what we have discussed in the last session. I hope it is a session hijacking, right? Session hijacking and burp suite installation. Am I right? Okay. So, does anyone have any doubts in the previous session? Mhm. Anyone have any doubts? Okay. So, how many of you find the real-time web applications on this session hijacking? What web applications are vulnerable for this session hijacking? Just tell me the names of that web applications. Just how many of you tested this vulnerability on the real-time web applications other than this Amazon and OTT platforms? Yes, how many of you done this? Guys, I'm asking you, just say yes or no whether you have done or not. If you've done anything, just share with me. It's not able to do so. Sorry. Okay, okay, no need. Fine. What about other one? Don't you get any real-time web application? Have you tried on this Instagram.com? Instagram.com is a vulnerable for the cookie stealing. If you have the cookies of your another user accounts, you can simply retrieve their sessions. Are you guys getting my point? What I'm saying? I think I have one cookie here. Okay. Actually, this one I think it's Amazon one. So no one have practiced that one, right? But Sandeep, hmm? What about remaining one? Raj, Satvika, you have not done anything, right? Okay, fine. So for every web application, like this Instagram.com is vulnerable, Bing also vulnerable, and the other pages like OTT platforms, Netflix also vulnerable. Some lot of web applications are vulnerable for these cookies stealing. Some web applications they won't allow all these things, but some web applications vulnerable. If you have another an account cookies, Instagram, so your friend is there. If you have his cookies with you, so you can simply steal their account. So yeah, so first I'll try to show you that Instagram.com, how the Instagram.com will work. One second. Okay. So hope screen is visible, right? Okay, fine. All right. So here I have logged in the Instagram.com. So same method, like how you have done for the Amazon.com, same method only. First, you have to steal the cookies from your target system. So here I'm exporting these cookies to JSON, and you have to send these cookies to your email address, or you can use the WhatsApp also because it's your target system. So you have this system for a 5 minutes of time, for a 10 minutes of time. Okay, so you have to log in to their Instagram account or whatever accounts they're having. So you have to steal the cookies and you have to share the cookies immediately to your account or to your mobile. So after this one, so here I'm using another browser. So in this browser, Instagram.com is actually logged out. Okay, so here it is logged out. I'm closing this one. Again, I'll stop. So there is nothing is there. So here, again, I'm going to the cookie editor. First, I'll try to delete all the cookies and I'll import the cookies which I have with me. Then import it again. Then refresh the page. Here you can see I got a Instagram page from my got it? Yes. So this is my account and here also it's my account. So with their cookies, you can simply retrieve their sessions. Got it? Anyone have any doubts with this one? Yes. So try to perform on OTT, not only OTT platforms, perform on the social media sites like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google, Bing, Yahoo. These are all some famous sites. Just perform that one. If you're able to steal the cookies, it's a very good chance to you. You can hijack their sessions, your target sessions. Okay. So if you know how to steal all these cookies, so you can write your own scripts to steal all these cookies from your target system without interacting to the system. So you can simply send a one mail. Okay, so whenever they click on that mail, automatically it will steal all the cookies from the browser and it will send automatically to your email. Got this? So like this, we have to develop the scripts. Okay, fine. All right. So now that topic is clear for everyone. Session hijacking. Does anyone have any other doubts? If you don't have any doubts, we will move to the most precious topic in ethical hacking. It's a database hacking. Is it clear for everyone? Okay, no doubts. Fine. So the next topic is SQL injection, also known as database hacking. Every web application needs a database for the purpose of login or retrieving the data. Suppose they are storing images, so where they are retrieving these images using the database only. So if you visit any website, so there we have some products will be there. Okay, so how many quantities, everything will be available, product images, information, everything is available. From where they are retrieving all these products information and all. If it is a local system, everything will be saved in our drives only. But the web application is hosting on a somewhere in the world. That's why they will use the databases to all this store the information like this. Suppose, so we have a login form is there in our database. So here we have a three buttons are there. In the first field, you have to provide your username. just as example, it's a example website, and the password is, you have to provide your password and click on login. So here I'm giving my username and password. Username is admin and the password is password, or you can give whatever you wish. So whenever you click on the login, do you know what will happen in the backend? So the entire whatever the credentials you have provided, it will be converted into a SQL queries. Okay, so SQL database is nothing but, like those who are from a non-technical department, it's little bit difficult to understand this one. So a database is nothing but a Excel sheet. Just assume you know everyone is aware of this Excel sheet, right? So in the Excel, what we have a rows and columns will be there. In the database also, we have a different Excel sheets will be there. Those Excel sheets are nothing but tables. Okay, so in the tables we have a rows and columns will be there. Getting my point? So that is called a database. It will store all your information in a some particular thing. So here what will happen whenever you give the credentials, this one will be executed as a query. So first it will write an SQL query like this. Select, okay. Select star from users where username equals to admin and password equals to password and this. So like this, the whole, whatever the credentials you have provided, everything will be converted into like this queries. So like how we are executing the commands in a terminal, like if you want to open any file, what the command we will use? Cat we will use. It's like this. If you want to retrieve any data from the database, you have to write the queries. These are all queries. So here what we are doing is we are selecting. Okay, so we are selecting everything. This asterisk refers for everything. So in the enumeration it refers for everything, in the database also it refers for everything, from where we are selecting everything from users. This is a table name in the sense, like just assume it's a Excel sheet name. So we are retrieving the data from the users table. Okay, users table. In the users table, what the information will be there? So all the who are the users are there in a current website. Okay, who left? So who is the creating new users? Every information will be available in this Excel sheet. So where? So in the users, what we are checking? If you execute up to this query, so you will get all the details. Select star from users, it means select everything from the users table. It means it will give you all the result, like who are the current users, every information it will give you, all the usernames and passwords it will provide. But we don't want all this information, we are just verifying the things. So that's why we mention here where class, where username equals to admin. So first it will directly go to the database and it will check where the username admin is there. Okay, if the admin username is available in the database, then it will move to the further one. If the admin database is not available in the database, you will get an error of invalid credentials or invalid username or password. Different types of errors we will get. Once, suppose if the username is correct, okay, so if the username is correct, then it will go to the AND operator, then it will verify the password. Okay, if the password matches, then you will be logged into your account. If the password doesn't match, you will get a invalid credentials. So if, why they are using AND operator? If the both elements AND and password will be the true, then only the username and password will be the true, then only it will be logged in. If any one of them is false, you won't. So whatever you have provided here, everything will be converted into like this. Got it? So it will be converted into SQL queries. So everything it will be converted. But some web applications oppose this type of things. So still they will use queries only. But if you are trying to perform the SQL injection, the web applications won't accept these kind of attacks. So is it clear how the credentials, like how the login form is working? Does anyone have any doubts in this one? Or is it clear? Clear, clear. Okay, fine. So this is only for the login form. But for SQL injection, if you want to perform the SQL injection, we need to know some basics, some conditions also will be there. Okay. The first one is, so you have to search for every entry parameter, entry point in a web application. Entry parameter in the sense you have to check in the URLs and login forms, comment fields, and reviews. Like this, we have to check each and every entry parameter, search bars. Okay, so everything is an entry parameter in a web application. So what we have to search? So first thing, the basic one, it is a URL. Okay, so maximum of the SQL injection vulnerabilities will be occur in the URL only. In the URL only, it will occur. So how can we find the vulnerable URL? So we have to find the vulnerable URL. So how can you find whether this one is a vulnerable URL or not? First thing, website should be dynamic. Website should be dynamic. It means the website will change as per the user input. If the user provided somewhat HTML injection in that one, if he provided a HTML tag, if it is responding according to this HTML tag, it should be a dynamic website. It is retrieving the website contents based upon the user inputs. If user is provided a somewhat name, it is the web application responding according to that name only. So first one is that one, and the second one is the URL should contain the something equals to numerical value. So the website URL should contain something equals to numerical value. So numerical something equals to numerical value in the sense here, just assume you have opened one e-commerce website. There you have opened one product. So while opening your product, you got something like ID equals to 25. ID equals to 25. So this is the something, and this ID is the something, and this is the numerical value. The website should contain this type of structure in the URL. If it is like this, so you can perform the SQL injection. So whatever it is, like not only the ID, whatever it is, like a image equals to 25 or product equals to whatever it should be. So it should available in the URL. Okay, so that we can perform the SQL injection on this one. Then how to perform the SQL injection? So see, whenever you're working on a project or whatever it is, you are checking for the SQL injection, you directly won't get this vulnerable URL. Suppose, so you got a domain name only. You will get only domain name. So the client will come you and give you this domain name. So this is my domain name, boy. So you have to perform the VAPT on this one. And you are searching for the SQL injection. So you have to find the vulnerable parameter and the vulnerable URL here. So what is this vulnerable URL and vulnerable parameter? Vulnerable URL in the sense where you are injecting the SQL injection vulnerability is the vulnerable URL, and which parameter you are executing that SQL injection is a vulnerable parameter. Suppose, so in a web application, we have a different pages will be available. So you have to go through that each and every page in a web application, and you have to find the URL until you'll get something equals to some numerical value. Is it clear? So like this, you have to go through that each and every Got it? Yes. So here you got an example.com. So here in this example.com, we have another page is there. So in that page, we have some products is there, products. So you clicked on that products and the URL has been changed to like this products is in. And you clicked on one product are there. Okay. Then again, the URL has been changed to product equals to one. So here what you have to do is, so you just simply put a single quote in the product equals to 0. Put a just a single quote. What will happen if you mention the single quote here? See in the backend how this one will execute, select star from products where products equals to product equals to 1 and semicolon. So this one will be executed like this. If you mention additional single quote in the end of the URL, what will happen? It will open an additional single quote in the end of the query, and this will make an SQL syntax error. Even if the Python or Java, whatever it is, if you skip only single quotation, what will happen? It will make an error in the code. Got it? So with this one, if you are getting any syntax error, it means this URL, whatever the URL you are injecting, and this URL is directly executing by the database. For confirming that one, we are telling that so it is executing by the database, and this vulnerability is called error-based SQL injection. In SQL injection, we have a different types of things are there. Error-based SQL injection is there, blind SQL injection is there, union-based SQL injection is there. But error-based SQL injection using some automation. So we have some tools are there. Using some tools, we are performing the attacks and we are retrieving the data. Okay, is it clear for everyone? If you are getting a SQL syntax error and that website is vulnerable for the SQL injection. And sometimes remember one more thing, sometimes you will face some issues with that application even if it is vulnerable for the SQL injection. It has some web application firewalls will be there, so that can be bypassed, but we are not going to discussing how to bypass all those things. Just we are learning the basics like how to use SQL map, how to hack the databases. Got it? Anyone have any doubts in this one? Let me know if you have any doubts. Okay, so if you don't have any doubts, so just make a note of it everything. I'll give you exactly 5 minutes. Okay. And one more thing is there you need to remember. So up to this one is like finding the vulnerable URL and vulnerable parameter. So here where you are injecting, and this is the vulnerable URL. Okay, in reporting also you have to mention this is the vulnerable URL. Example.com products and product equals to 1. So here you got a SQL injection vulnerability, and this is the affected URL or vulnerable URL. And what is a parameter? So in this website, we have a comment fields will be there, login forms will be there sometimes, and sometimes review will be there. But here we are injected in the URL itself, that is a product equals to 1, and The vulnerable parameter is product equals to 1. And this is the vulnerable parameter and this is the vulnerable URL. Got it, guys? Okay. So, yeah, fine. And one more thing. So after finding this one, we will use some tools to extract the data. Then what is the process of extracting the data? First, what we have to extract, then what we have to extract. So first we have to extract the database names. The first one is database name we have to extract. How many databases are there in your target website? First, you have to retrieve this one. And then next you have to retrieve the tables inside each and every database. See, some databases in some web applications, one common database will be there. So don't think that one is a original database. The common database name is information schema. Okay, so the information schema is like consisting of all the table names. They doesn't have any tables. They just know the what are the table names are there in the original database. If you are seeing two databases in a website, don't go with the information schema, go with the other database name. So after finding the databases, you have to find the tables inside the database. After finding the tables, you have to find the columns. So after finding the columns, you have to dump the data. So this is the four methods you have to follow to retrieve some data. Got it? Just to make a note of it. Is it done? Okay, fine. So now we will go to the real-time sites. So first we will test on the testphp1web.com. So like this, you will get the domain. Okay, so the client came to you and gave this domain testphp1web.com. You have to find the vulnerabilities and you have to exploit this one. So here, if you see here, we have a different pages are there. Okay, so start going one by one page. So in the browse categories page is there. Just go to this page. So the URL has been changed to /categories.php. If I click on the posters button here, so the URL has been changed to some vulnerable URL. So if you still see here, list products.php cat equals to 1. So this the condition has been satisfied, right? Category equals to 1, something equals to numerical value. Not only the ID equals to numerical value, it can be a cat equals to 1, product ID equals to 1, whatever it is. So what you have to do? So just simply put a single quote in the end of the URL. Okay, then hit enter. Here we go. So we got a SQL syntax error. It means the web application is being executed by the database. So whatever it is there in this URL, it is executing by the database. Is it clear? Yes, is it clear? Okay, sure. I'll repeat it one more time. See, so here we got a domain. Test.php vulnerweb.com is our target domain. So in your target domain, we have a different pages are there. Different other links are there. So browse categories, artist, cart, everything is there. So just start visiting the each and every page until you'll get the conditions should be this condition or vulnerable URL. So here I'm going to the browsers categories. So the URL has been changed to /categories.php. Now in this page we have again we have some different pages are there. Try to open any one of the page. So if I open the posters, the URL has been changed to vulnerable URL for SQL injection. That is list_products.php cat equals to 1. So these are first condition here. Something equals to some numerical value. Something equals to numerical value. So here the condition has been satisfied. So whenever the condition has been satisfied, just put a single quote in the end of the URL. Okay, in the end of the URL, just put a single quote and then hit enter. That's it. So if you are getting an SQL syntax error, it means the URL, this URL is being executed by the database. Whatever the thing is there here, this product, everything is, it is interconnected with the database and the data is retrieving from the database using this URL. Is it clear now, Nonit? Okay. So if it is clear, see, so whenever you got an syntax error, so what you have to do is just remove this %27. This %27 is nothing but a URL encoding for the single quote. We are using a single quote for retrieving these things, right? So that URL encoding all this one. So just remove that %27 and copy the entire URL. Okay. Then go to the Kali Linux. So the tool we are using here is SQL map. So using SQL map, we can perform the automation testing against a website. So nothing, you just need to provide some commands to that one. Automatically, it will hack the databases and it will give you all the results. But sometimes the client, not sometimes, the client never accept the SQL map injection. They only accept the manual SQL injection. But as an ethical hacker, you should know about all the tools, like how to use the SQL map and all things. So open the terminal and type SQL map -u and paste the URL you have copied. Okay, paste the URL you have copied and _DBS. So what is the first thing we have to find after getting the vulnerable URL is the databases. First we have to find the databases, right? So that's why we have mentioned the _DBS. If you mention the _DBS, you are telling that, so first find the database names. Okay, then hit enter. If it is asking for any yes or no, just click hit enter. It will go with a default one. See, here the attack has been completed. So here you got in the last available databases. So SQL injection is successfully done and we got the database names. I already told you two databases will be there and one database will be the default database. That is a information schema is the default database in any website. So this one will comes in manual SQL injection. Here it's not that much of important. So here our target is the AccuArt. Okay, here our target is the AccuArt. So here we got a database name called AccuArt. So here I'm using this AccuArt to retrieve the data from the database. So you can use the up arrow command. So here we got the same command. Just remove the _DBS and mention single hyphen capital D accurate. And so now, as of now, we have found the database name. What is the next thing we have to find? It is a tables inside the database. So mention now double hyphen tables, double hyphen tables. So if you want to find something, then you have to use the double hyphen tables. If you already found that one, you have to use the single hyphen capital letter. So now you will get the database tables. See here, you can see we got a 8 tables inside this database. So artist, cards, categories, future, guest book, pictures, products, users. So this is just a normal web application. That's why we are getting some 8 to 10 tables or 20 tables max. But in a real-time web applications, you will get thousands of tables or hundreds of tables you will. And within those tables, you have to find the which one contains the juicy information of the tables. So here, all of these things, users seems juicy information. Okay, because all the users information might be saved on this one. So you can use this users table. Same thing, use the up arrow. Okay, so just remove the double hyphen tables and mention capital T users. So then what we have to find after finding the tables, we have to find the columns. Then mention with the double hyphens columns. Then hit enter. So now it will find what are the columns are there, what are the column names are there. So here we have a columns called name column is there, address, cart, cc, email, password, phone number, username. Okay, so like this we can retrieve multiple values by using the comma. Suppose if I want to retrieve the name, email, username, password. Okay, I'll use the same up arrow command and I'll mention capital C because I found it, and I'll use the name. First I want to retrieve the name, put a comma, and email I want, put a comma, then username, that is uname, comma, then pass, that is password. So after mentioning all these thing column names, space, double hyphen, dump. So by using the dump command, you can retrieve the all the data from the database. Then hit enter. It will retrieve the data, and here it will, you got the name is currently the name is Smith, and the email is netspark at the rate of example.com. Username is test, password is test. I think these are the default credentials for the test php right? Yes, am I right? Is it clear for everyone? No worries, I'll share with you the commands also. So okay, fine, we have one another website is there. So okay, hello Mandira. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's a China website. Okay, it's a China website, I think. So I found the one vulnerable URL in this website. So if I put on a single quote here, so here I'm not getting any error. Instead of getting any error, here I'm not getting any data also. So here it's a broken image is there. All the data has been left here. So even if you are getting like this one also vulnerable for the SQL injection. If you are getting any error, it is a vulnerable. If you are not getting any error, and instead of getting errors, it's removing all the page contents, and this one also vulnerable for the SQL injection. Got it? So now what I'll do, I'll use this one. I'll copy this. I'll use SQL map hyphen U. U stands for your URL, and paste it. Then first what we have to find, you have to tell me. So what is the command I have to run here? Tell me guys, what is the command I have to run here? Okay, double hyphen dbs, right? Double hyphen dbs. So if it is asking for any yes or no, okay, just hit on enter. Automatically it will select the default one. So don't make any changes. So just hit enter. Okay, do one thing, guys. So all of you just go to the testphpmalware.com and try to perform on that website and show me the result, whatever you got. Okay, is it clear for everyone? So no issues. I'll share the commands also in the chat box. So it is taking too much time. We don't have that much of time. So just practice it and I'll share the commands too. All right, guys, I have shared the commands in the chat box. So you can use those commands. So whatever it is there inside the braces, that is like just a command, what the command will do. Okay. So in Angular brackets, that is you have to mention the database name and the tables. Okay. Got it? Does anyone have any doubts with these commands? If you have any doubts, just ask me. Okay, no doubts. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. Yeah, guys, it is done. I'll show you this one. Then you can practice. Here you can see here we got a SIM information schema is there. Okay. And we have a two databases are there. So we have to find which database is the vulnerable, I mean, consisting the data. So first I'll go to the one database. I'll use this CRM test. Okay, I'll go with this one. I think it's looking like it's a test one. Double hyphen tables I want to retrieve from here. So here we got, okay. So here we have admin page is there, age point, different things are there. So I can use any one of this one, documents list, expenses, everything is available. Okay. So here I can use any one of this one, then I can retrieve the data. So these videos are sharing in the YouTube, so it might raise a concern. So that's why I'm not showing this one. Uh, so you can try on this one. So first you can try on this testphpvulnerable.com and you can go to any website in the internet and check for is there any vulnerable URL like this, something equals to some value, and put a single quote there. Then if you got any error, come to the Kali Linux, execute the SQL map. Got it? Yes. Any doubts you're having now? Got it. Okay, fine. So just execute all this testphpvulnerable.com and share me the screenshots. Which one, Satika? These commands? You asking? Okay, ma. I'll share in the chat WhatsApp group also. Yeah, guys, is it completed? Hello, am I audible? Okay, okay, do it, do it.
Yes, sir, you are audible. The class is over.
No, Mandira, just a few minutes. Critical can't establish SSL connection. Getting this message. I think like many of the people are trying the same time, right? That's why you're getting some issues. Okay, fine. After this class, also you can try this one on test PHP. If you have any doubts, just go through the recordings or can ping me in the WhatsApp also. Okay, with a screenshot. Okay, so don't say like I'm getting this error here. Just send me the screenshot, then I'll reply with you. Okay, guys, is it clear? Yeah, that's right. Okay, fine, guys. Anyone have any doubts? Does anyone have any doubts? If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can wind up this session. No doubts. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the joining, guys. Hello, Mandira. Are you there?